Hey, pop shoppers, welcome to Ed Rambeau's little corner of the world.
You to me are sweet as roses in the morning. You to me are soft as summer rain at dawn, and love we share. That's something rare. The sidewalks in the street, the concrete and the clay beneath my feet begins to crumble, but love will never die. Because we'll see.
Hello, everybody. As my dear friend Talking Tom says when he hypes my show on Facebook, it's that time again, folks. In other words, this is Ed Rambeau, and welcome to my little corner of the world. So if you're out there joining me for this evening, please accept my great big hello and welcome. I'd like to pause here for a quick moment, though, to give a rather fond farewell to another legend in the music business, Paul Revere. We recently lost Paul, but one thing we will never lose are the musical memories he left behind. So to you, Paul, I say thanks for the music, and may you forever rest in peace. With that being said, let's get to tonight's theme. Not too long ago, I did a show with this same musical genre and discovered that Stu Weiss's wife, Susan, had a great fondness for musical show tunes. Therefore, the theme for tonight is Back to Broadway. And I'd like to dedicate this entire show to Susan, the wife of our dear friend and host, Stu Weiss. Oh, Stu would also like me to remind you that his show runs every Friday night from 7 p.m. to 3:01 in the morning. So after I sign off tonight, please stay tuned for more fun with Stu. To kick off tonight's theme is a wonderful song from the Stephen Sondheim musical, Anyone Can Whistle. It's always been a personal favorite of mine, so I hope you enjoy it as well. It's a stirring song, and it's called Everybody Says Don't. Everybody says don't, everybody says don't, everybody says don't, it isn't right, don't, it isn't nice. Everybody says don't, everybody says don't, everybody says don't walk on the grass, don't disturb the peace, don't skate on the ice. Well, I say do, I say walk in the grass it was meant to feel, I say sail, tilt to the windmill, and if you fail, you fail. Everybody says don't, everybody says don't, everybody says don't get out of line. When they say that then, baby, that's a sign. 9 times out of 10, baby, you're doing just fine. Make like a rebel, come on, be brave. This time a rebel, next time a wave. Sometimes you have to start small, climbing the tiniest wall. Maybe you're going to fall, but it's better than not starting at all. Everybody says no, stop, mustn't rock the boat, mustn't touch a thing. Everybody says don't, everybody says wait, everybody says can't fight City Hall, can't upset the cart, can't laugh at the king. Well, I say try, I say laugh at the kings or they'll make you cry. Lose your poise, fall if you have to, but baby make a noise, yeah. Everybody says don't, everybody says can't, everybody says wait around for miracles. That's the way the world is made. I insist on miracles, if you do them, miracles, nothing to them. I say don't be afraid. That was Stephen Sondheim's Everybody Says Don't from the Broadway musical Anyone Can Whistle. Let's switch tempos now a bit to one of the most beautifully written Broadway ballads of all time. I recently put together a music video for this particular song, which can be viewed on YouTube. So for those of you who are interested, to search for it, simply type my name in YouTube's search box followed by the title of the song. I'm speaking about Andrew Lloyd Webber's mesmerizing composition from Cats entitled Memory.
Midnight, not a sound from the pavement. Has the moon lost her memory? She is shining alone. In the lamplight, the withered leaves collect at my feet, and the wind begins to moan. Memory, all alone in the moonlight, I can smile at the old days. It was beautiful then. I remember the time I knew what happiness was. Let the memory live again. Every street lamp seems to beat a fatalistic warning. Someone mutters and the street lamp sputters, and soon it will be morning. Daylight, I must wait for the sunrise. I must think of a new light, and I mustn't give in. When the dawn comes, tonight will be a memory too, and a new day will begin. Burned out ends of smoky days, the stale cold smell of morning. The street lamp dies, another night is over, another day is dawning. Touch me, it's so easy to leave me all alone with the memory of my days in the sun. If you touch me, you'll understand what happiness is. Look, a new day has begun.
That was Memory. Andrew Lloyd Webber gave us that one, folks, from his Broadway musical, Cats. Recording-wise, this next song was a major undertaking because it begins with a whole bunch of townspeople singing while selling their wares, and I chose to play the part of each and every one of those townspeople, whose voices overlap one another quite a bit. Thank God for multi-tracks, right? It's an intricate composition written by the late, great Lionel Bart from his Broadway musical, Oliver. The title of the song, Who Will Buy?
Who will buy my sweet red roses, two blooms for a penny? Who will buy my sweet red roses, two blooms for a penny? Will you buy any milk today, mistress? Any milk today, mistress? Who will buy my sweet red roses? Any this wonderful morning, such a sky you never did see. Who will buy my sweet red roses? Who will tie it up with a ribbon and put it in a box for me? Ripe strawberries ripe, so I could see it at my leisure. Whenever things go wrong, and I would keep it as a treasure to last my whole life long. Any milk today? Who will buy this wonderful feeling? I'm so high, I swear I could fly. Knives to grind, strawberries ripe. Me, oh my, I don't want to lose it. So what am I to do to keep the sky so blue? There must be someone who will buy. Wonderful morning, such a sky you never did see. Who will tie it up with a ribbon and put it in a box for me? There'll never be a day so sunny it could not happen twice. Where is the man with all the money? It's cheap at half the price. Who will buy this wonderful feeling? I'm so high, I swear I could fly. Me, oh my, I don't want to lose it. So what am I to do to keep the sky so blue? There must be someone who will buy my sweet red roses, two blooms for a penny.
For those of you who may have just tuned in, you're listening to Ed Rambeau, and this is My Little Corner of the World on oldiesyourway.com, the #1 spot on internet radio. Tonight's theme, Back to Broadway, and this next song comes from Guys and Dolls, written by Frank Lesser, and was originally sung by the character Nicely Nicely, portrayed by the great Broadway performer Stubby Kaye, whose delivery of it caused it to become one of the classic Broadway showstoppers of that period. Please enjoy my version of Sit Down, You're Rockin' the Boat.
I dreamed last night I got on the boat to heaven, and by some chance I had brought my dice along, and there I stood, and I hollered someone fade me, but the passengers, they knew right from wrong. For the people all said, sit down, you're rocking the boat. People all said, sit down, you're rocking the boat. And the devil will drag you under by the sharp lapel of your checkered coat. Sit down, you're rocking the boat. I sailed away on that little boat to heaven, and by some chance found a bottle in my fist. And there I stood, nicely passing out the whiskey, but the passengers were bound to resist. For the people all said, beware, you're on a heavenly trip. The people all said, beware, beware, you'll scuttle the ship. And the devil will drag you under by the fancy tie around your wicked throat. Sit down, you're rocking the boat. And as I laughed at those passengers to heaven, a great big wave came and washed me overboard. And as I sang and I hollered, someone saved me, that's the moment I woke up, thank the Lord. And I said to myself,
myself, sit down, you're rocking the boat. I said to myself, sit down, you're rocking the boat. And the devil will drag you under with a soul so heavy you'll never float. Sit down, you're rocking the boat. Sit down, you rock, sit down, you're rocking the boat. Sit down, you rock, sit down, you're rocking the boat. Sit down. From the Broadway show Into the Woods, Stephen Sondheim gave us another wonderful song with the most amazing lyrics. The song is entitled, Children Will Listen. Hope you enjoy my rendition. How do you say to your child in the night, nothing's all black, but then nothing's all white? How do you say it will all be all right when you know that it might not be true? What do you do? Careful the things you say, children will listen. Careful the things you do, children will see and learn. Children may not obey, but children will listen. Children will look to you for which way to turn, to learn what to be. Careful before you say, listen to me. Children will listen. Careful the wish you make, wishes are children. Careful the path you take, wishes come true, not free. Careful the spell you cast, not just on children. Sometimes the spell may last past what you can see and turn against you. Careful the tale you tell, that is the spell. Children will listen. How do you say to a child who's in flight, don't slip away and I won't hold so tight? What can you say that no matter how slight won't be misunderstood? What do you leave to your child when you're dead? Only whatever you put in its head. Things that your mother and father have said, which were left to them too. Careful what you say, children will listen. Careful you do it too, children will see and learn. Oh, guide them but step away, children will glisten. Tamper with what is true, and children will turn, if just to be free. Careful before you say, listen to me. Children will listen. Children will listen. Children. Children will listen. I consider Stephen Sondheim to be one of the most brilliant lyricists of our time. In the song you just heard, one of my favorite parts of the lyrics is when he writes, "What do you leave to your child when you're dead? Only whatever you put in its head. things that your mother and father have said which were left to them too. So for all you young parents out there, heed those lyrics and don't make that same mistake. If you ever want a real treat, buy the original Broadway cast album of A Little Night Music. Then download the lyrics and read along as you listen to each song from this incredible score. You will be amazed at the cleverness and brilliance of this man's lyrics. As my final selection for tonight's theme, Back to Broadway, I've selected one of the most incredible numbers ever written for the Broadway stage. In an onstage drama, you've often heard of a soliloquy, where a single character spills out his story for the benefit of the audience. Well, in the Broadway classic Carousel, Rodgers and Hammerstein composed a soliloquy in song about how the main character, Billy Bigelow, was having warm fatherly thoughts about the upcoming birth of his first child. It was one of the longest non-operatic songs ever written for a single character and lasts roughly 7.5 minutes. It's aptly titled Soliloquy. Hope you enjoy my version. I wonder what he'll think of me. I guess he'll call me the old man. I guess he'll think I can lick every other fella's father. Well, I can. I bet that he'll turn out to be the spitting image of his dad, but he'll have more common sense than his puddin'-headed father ever had. I'll teach him to wrestle and dive through a wave when we go in the mornings for our swim. His mother can teach him the way to behave, but she won't make a sissy out of him. Not him, not my boy, not Bill. Bill. My boy Bill, I will see that he's named after me. I will. My boy Bill, he'll be tall and as tough as a tree. Will Bill, like a tree he'll grow with his head held high and his feet planted firm on the ground. And you won't see nobody dare to try to boss him or toss him around. No pot-bellied, baggy-eyed bully'll boss him around. I don't give a damn what he does, as long as he does what he likes. He can sit on his tail or work on a rail with a hammer and spikes. He can ferry a boat on a river, or pedal a pack on his back, or work up and down the streets of the town with a whip and a horse and a hack. He can haul a scow around a canal, or run a cow around a corral, or maybe bark for a carousel. Of course it takes talent to do that well. He might be champ of the heavyweights, or a fella that sells you glue, or president of the United States. That'd be all right too. His mother would like that, but he wouldn't be president unless he wanted to be. Not Bill. My boy Bill, he'll be tall and as tough as a tree. Will Bill, like a tree he'll grow with his head held high and his feet planted firm on the ground. And you won't see nobody dare to try to boss him or toss him around. No fat-bottomed, flabby-faced, pot-bellied, baggy-eyed bastard'll boss him around. And I'm damned if he'll marry his boss's daughter, a skinny-lipped virgin with blood like water, who'll give him a peck and call it a kiss, and look in his eyes through a lorgnette. Say, why am I taking on like this? My kid ain't even been born yet. I can see him when he's 17 or so, and starting in to go with a girl.
I can give him lots of pointers, very sound, and the way to get around any girl. I can tell him, wait a minute, could it be? What the hell? What if he is a girl? Bill. Ah, Bill. What would I do with her? What could I do for her? Me, a bum with no money. You can't have fun with a son, but you've got to be a father to a girl. She mightn't be so bad at that. A kid with ribbons in her hair, a kind of neat and petite little tintype of her mother. What a pair! And I can just hear myself bragging about her. My little girl, pink and white, like peaches and cream, is she. My little girl is half again as bright as girls were meant to be. Dozens of boys pursue her, many a likely lad does what he can to woo her from her faithful dad. She has a few pink and white young fellas of 2 and 3, but my little girl gets hungry every night, and she comes home to me. I gotta get ready before she comes. I gotta make certain that she won't be dragged up in slums with a lot of bums like me. She's gotta be sheltered and fed and dressed in the best that money can buy. I never knew how to get money, but I'll try, by God, I'll try. I'll go out and make it, or steal it, or take it, or die.
Well, that's it, my friends. We've come to another close of my little corner of the world. For the past half hour, you've heard a few of my favorite Broadway selections, which I've dedicated to Susan, the wife of the one and only Stu Weiss. Before signing off, in addition to thanking you for tuning in tonight, I hope you've enjoyed the show. Please join me 2 weeks from this evening when I'll be introducing a brand new theme along with the return of Talking Tom, who's been vacationing in the Bahamas along with his lovely wife, Angelina. With that being said, this is Ed Rambeau, and from my little corner of the world to yours, here's wishing you the best night possible. Now please stay tuned for Stu Weiss and his popular pop shop. Good night, everyone.
Stu Weiss and his wonderful pop shop on oldiesyourway.com.